David Burroughs Last updated 1754, October 12, 2017. Richard Andrew Cook, 54, was sentenced in the new Plymouth District Court on Monday for the offending which started back in 1999. A man has been jailed for an appalling catalogue of sexual abuse against two young girls which began nearly 2 decades ago and continued for 2 years. Richard Andrew Cook, 54, was jailed for more than 3 years in the new Plymouth District Court on Monday after earlier pleading guilty to 4 charges of indecent assault on a girl under 12 and 1 of an indecent act with a girl under 12. Judge Kevin Glubb said Cook came into contact with the 2 girls in 1999, when victim 1 was aged 10 and the other was 8. He went into their bedroom while they were asleep and knelt down beside the bed of his older victim, who awoke to find him touching himself before he sexually assaulted her. Read more. Child sex offender jailed for 14 years but avoids preventive detention. Child sex offender told home detention not appropriate and is jailed. Sex abuse victims forgive offender at remarkable meeting. Rapist, 59, blamed his 11-year-old victim when she protested. You told her that it was all right, that it was normal, Glubb told Cook. Cook assaulted the girl the same way a number of times over a 2-year period, and when she refused to participate, he told her no one would believe her if she told anyone about it. He also committed an indecent act in front of her a number of times and encouraged her to watch. Glubb said the offending against Cook's second victim started around the same time, when he twice lay down behind her while she was sleeping and she woke to find him sexually assaulting her. On the first occasion you were interrupted by her older sister coming into the room and you just simply rolled over and pretended to sleep, Glubb said. On the second occasion it lasted longer as you had closed the door beforehand. On another occasion, Cook was naked and grabbed the victim's hand before he forced her to touch him. He only stopped when she began to cry. This is an appalling catalogue, frankly, Mr. Cook, Glubb said after outlining the offending. He said there were a number of aggravating factors including the premeditation, the vulnerability of the victims and the breach of trust, as well as the intrusiveness of the offending and the prolonged period over which it happened. There was also a large impact on the victims. In the victim impact statements that have been read to this court, it is very clear the effect this form of abuse has had on these 2 young women, Glubb said. As the court knows, the ripples from offending such as this can radiate out for many years and often have lifelong and lasting impacts. I see no mitigation in this offending. He said the pre-sentence report had found Cook still showed no remorse for his actions. In essence, you continue to deny this offending, he said. Cook was assessed at a low risk of re-offending, but his risk of harm was assessed at medium. The report writer in fact recommends home detention, Glubb said. He instead sentenced him to 3 years and 5 months imprisonment, which also resulted in Cook being placed on the sex offender register. Stuff.